Continue. Number 2, forming a new entity. The prohibition of basar v'chalav is not merely that the meat and that absorb daily, and daily that absorb meat, and have thus become prohibited. Rather, cooking meat and milk together creates a new halachic entity called basar v'chalav. Basar v'chalav. Okay. So meaning it's a new entity. It's not like meat cooked with in milk, but it's basar v'chalav, totally different entity, halachically speaking. When a cup of milk falls into a pot of meat, the problem is not merely that that cup of is a cup of milk. Rather, the entire pot of meat becomes basar v'chalav. So it's not like the problem is not that milk that was mixed with meat is like the entire pot of this meat becomes like this prohibited entity, right? Everything, even it was not mixed. Hence, even one who eats kizayis of the meat alone, right? So without milk, is punishable by malchus, lashes, even though the meat may only contain small amounts of milk. Okay, very interesting, right? So for some negative, not all of them, but for some negative, when a person when person desecrates some negative commandments, so the punishment is lashes. Okay. Similarly, if a piece of the prohibited basar v'chalav meat falls into the pot of potatoes, all of the potatoes are forbidden, right? Even though the taste of milk and in potato is negligible. Thus, the bitul ratio of 60 units of potato versus one unit of milk is insufficient. We require bitul ratio of 60 units of potato versus 1 unit. We're going to explain of combined meat and milk. Let's go back and understand this example with potatoes. Similarly, a piece of prohibited basar v'chalav meat. So again, it could be mixture like a meat from this pot, that the meat pot that some milk went into. So maybe like since it was not actually mixed, maybe this meat does not have so much milk taste in it, right, to begin with, right? So this, but it's already status has, as we explained, has a new entity that is called basar v'chalav. So this piece of meat, right, falls, which is called basar v'chalav, falls into the pot of potatoes. All of the potatoes are forbidden, right? Even though the taste of the milk in potato is negligible. So maybe a few drops, right? Thus, bitul ratio of 160 of potato versus unit of the milk is insufficient, right? So because we need 1 to 60, so that's a bitul. Bitul is a nullification. So nullification ratio is 1 to 60 works at least for basar v'chalav, for milk and meat together, okay, mixture. So if, for example, in this case, if it's 60 parts of potatoes, right, to 1 part of this meat that is contain milk in it, so no problem, you can eat potatoes. Of course, you have to remove the meat. Meat is never allowed, but you're allowed to eat potatoes. So it's not merely the taste of the milk, but actually the combination that is not allowed, meat and milk together. Continue. The underlying principle here is that basar v'chalav is not meat prohibited because of the dairy taste, or dairy prohibited because of the meat taste. Rather, the mixture that has generated a new prohibited entity is called basar v'chalav. So one more time, it's not meat that prohibited, it's not the the milk that absorbed in this meat is prohibited, but the whole entity. It's very, very interesting.